WrestleBuddy Podcast. All about wrestling. Subscribe and follow for more content.
Hello, everybody. It's WrestleBuddy, and we are back again this week with the news from this past week that happened across the board. I will be taking the hosting duties this week as Jimmy Bebe. I am joined by Zane. Say hello.
Hello, I'm Zan, the WrestleBuddy's little shit.
That is Zane. Back to me. So, we're just going to get right into the news this week. We're going to go start off with the news of Rey Mysterio first. It's being reported that he is sidelined due to medical issues. Those medical issues have not been disclosed, but that's why he hasn't. Was that?
You remember last year Seth Rollins peeled his eye out?
Oh, he got a new one. He got a new one. He's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's a broken heart from the way Dominic has been treating him. I don't know, but that's why we haven't seen him in the ring lately. He's just been coaching Dominic. We recently saw him drafted to Raw with Dominic, so it'll be interesting to see how they use him since he's not going to be able to go in the ring. But this is being reported by Fightful, so you can pretty much take their word on it. They're pretty good. This isn't Meltzer talking.
Wow, shots fired.
You got anything to say about Ray being sidelined?
Yeah, I actually do. Thanks for asking me, Jimmy. I feel like Ray was finally doing something that was worthwhile. And this was leading to something big. And I hope he's in sideline for long. Because I really want to see where this thing with Dominic and Ray goes. With Sami Zayn in the background, kind of moving the figures and playing chess, moving the pieces. And yeah, I feel like we have this Dominic versus Ray feud incoming. And I'm really sad that they need to put a halt. But if it concerns health, then health must come first. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to when he returns. And I hope he's not gone for long.
Yeah, I like that they're using his time away from the ring to build something as opposed to just taking him off TV. It keeps Dominic fresh and it gives intriguing storyline. I hope Sami Zayn gets drafted to Raw so that we can see the continuation of him planting seeds into Dominic's ear. The way this storyline's unfolding, this is something that could really last up until WrestleMania, honestly. If Ray can't get in the ring and you just have him doing the coaching thing, I think it could be good. I'm not mad that we don't get to see Ray in the ring anymore, as much anymore. I think that's actually beneficial for him. It'll help prolong him a little bit, especially this storyline. But hopefully it's nothing serious, and at the very latest, we see him back in the ring by the Royal Rumble. But on to the next bit of news. This one is very interesting. It's being reported that Shane McMahon no longer has a contract with WWE. Apparently, there's a performance contract he still has. But as far as the behind the scenes or whatever role he had, that seems to be done at this point. I think the last we saw him was at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting story because I know a lot of people want to see Shane be the heir apparent to WWE. But if he's not there, I don't see that happening. And with all the other news that's been coming out about WWE this year, about the rumors of a sale, I think that just makes this bit of information a little bit more interesting. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so I actually have some speculation regarding the reason why this has happened. Now, if you turn the clock back, August 13th, 2020. No, wait, it's August 21st. It's August 20th, 2021. AEW Rampage, CM Punk returned. The best in the world returned to AEW. Now, what did that do? That struck a chord with Shane. He wasn't happy about it because he's the best in the world. So now he's going to jump ship to AEW and he's going to go one-on-one against CM Punk for the title of who's the best in the world. Jokes aside, I don't feel like he's going anywhere. He's gonna stay with WWE, and all those people saying that he's gonna join AEW, it's like why are people even coming up? Where are people coming up with that stuff? It's just that I feel like he's going to be a lot more disconnected with the WWE product, and with, as you said, with people saying that he could be the heir to the throne of WWE, I feel like that has changed a lot. And Vince
Yeah.
has his own vision of how he sees WWE, and I don't think Stephanie and Shane do. And some other guys up there, I think Pritchard, Nick Khan, they are more in line with how WWE works and how what Vince McMahon's vision of what WWE is. So I don't think that anything big is going to come out of Shane McMahon not being in contract with WWE anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think so either. And to the people who do want Shane to take over, I'll just say 2 words to make your opinion invalid. Raw Underground. That's all I'm gonna say, because nobody was a fan of it, and that was Shane McMahon's brainchild. Like that was his baby, and it was terrible. So yeah, I'm not mad that he's gone. I'm sure he's off doing things that he wants to do. He's left before, and I think he was very successful with his ventures that he did. With him still being under a performance contract, I definitely see him returning WrestleMania season, so that he can get thrown off something, do his big spot, and then leave again. I'm not mad at that at all. I think that's how Shane should be used at this point. The McMahons have gotten old. We've been watching them for over 20 years on TV, and I think little shit.
I apologize.
I think people have just grown tired of the McMahons over the 20 years, and having them on TV less is never a bad thing. So I'll be interested to see what happens with Shane in the future, to see if this turns into anything more, or if it's just, yeah, I'm going on my own way, I'm doing my own thing, and I'll be back at WrestleMania. But to your AEW theory, there is a Joker on the next episode of Dynamite. How crazy would it be for the Joker to come out and it's "Here Comes the Money"? I don't think there's. I think that'd be the most insane thing that's ever happened in the history of wrestling at this point, because. But it is 2021. We've seen a lot of things happen this year, and I can't say that we should be surprised if it does happen. That's where I'll leave it. That's where I'll leave it.
Yeah, he's 100%. He's the Joker.
I mean, he gets to jump off a tall ladder. That's his MO. Like I think it's there. I wouldn't be. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised if it happens. We'll move on to another bit of news. It was widely speculated that Bray Wyatt was going to appear on Dynamite last week. Not sure why, other than the fact that it was in Rochester, Brody Lee's hometown. I guess it was a wishful thinking thing for a lot of the fans, but he's under a non-compete clause. He's not giving up free money. He's going to wait it out. But now the reports are coming out that Impact is very heavily going after him. They haven't been able to really communicate with him all that well, but they're using friends apparently of his to get closer contact with him, and are really making a push for him. I personally think that's where he should go. I think they'll be able to use what Bray Wyatt brings to the table the best, which is intriguing storylines and characters. And I think the best place for him to really open up that creativity, it would be Impact. They do a lot of the brain fart, the cinematic stuff. And that's where I think that's Bray Wyatt's bread and butter. I think that's where his characters really flourish. What about you? What do you think about Bray possibly going to Impact?
I have to kind of disagree with you, because I am a little shit, but also because of the fact that I don't really think that Impact is really that big of a platform for a star like Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt was the top merch seller in WWE. He's a former WWE champion. He has been kind of the de facto top guy for WWE when someone is out. And he was at a time, and most of the time when he was active, he was the most appealing act on the whole show. So him going to Impact, which is watched by what, a couple 100,000 people every week. Do you think that Bray would want to go there, even in an attempt to bring Impact back, or would he want to go to AEW where there is a large audience? But he, but the thing is, like as you said, I don't think his act would really blend in well with what AEW is doing or the narrative that AEW presents with their wrestling. So I'm really disputed over where Bray Wyatt will go. I feel like he'll wait it out, he'll test his options, and at the end, if he chooses to go to Impact, then he might have the spooky stuff. If he chooses to go to AW, he'll have to reinvent his character and kind of be someone like the cult leader Bray Wyatt or that version of himself.
The thing I'll say about AEW is, character work aside, I think his in-ring work doesn't mesh at all with anything they want to do in AEW. It would be a different style than everyone else, and some of those styles would probably blend pretty well together. But for the most part, I don't think he can put on the matches that the AEW fans are wanting to see. I think that's the big appeal to AEW is what they're able to do in the ring. There's no handcuffs. They're able to just have complete freedom in that ring to put on the shows that they want to do. And Bray Wyatt's style just does not fit in with that at all. And then another thing with the Impact is, like you mentioned, they don't have that many viewers. It's, I think, somewhere around 120,000, I think, is what they're averaging. I'm not 100% sure. They're not on like television like AEW and WWE is, so there's that's holding them back a little bit. But I think a thing with Bray is, to get out of that slump, you have to take chances. You have to bring in people that are able to bring you back from the ashes. And I think Bray has that ability. I think if they were to give him the freedom to tell the stories he wants to tell, he has a following. People are going to want to see what he's doing on Impact. And I think if they're able to present it in a way that makes people happy, they'll want to continue. And then maybe word of mouth will be like, hey, you should check out what he's doing because this. And then when they tune in, then they get to see the other people on Impact that maybe they didn't know about. And then that, I feel like that's how you build viewers. I think this would be a major get for Impact, and that's why I've been really pushing for it this whole time. I'm not a big Impact fan, I'm not going to lie, but I would be intrigued into seeing Bray on their show just because I know they're going to allow him to just flourish. And just think of how much merchandise Bray was able to sell with WWE. He goes to Impact, that merchandise money is going to help them tremendously. And then who knows, further down the road, maybe they're able to get a better TV deal, and then that can help them grow even more. I think Impact really needs to throw the bank at Bray, because they've done the Forbidden Door thing, and it really hasn't helped them. It's spiked a few times by a couple thousand, but nothing major has come of it. So I think they need to really go a different route and invest in talent that people want to see, a talent like Bray Wyatt. That's why I'm like a real big advocate for him going there. And even if he did go with that Forbidden Door, he'd still be able to do the things in AEW. If there was a story there that was worth his attention, or Tony Khan was like, hey, I got this idea, you could bring him over to AEW, and then AEW is able to benefit off him as well. I think it's just a no-lose situation if he's able to go to Impact. But we'll see. I think it is 90 days up at on Halloween, I think. I think Halloween is the first day he's available to do something. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. But now we'll move on to another free agent at the moment, Bobby Fish. It was rumored that he was signed with MLW, but now he's having a match next week on Dynamite with Sammy Guevara. And apparently there's rumors that he might have actually signed with AEW instead.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good get? Do you think it's good for Bobby Fish? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I feel like the rumors that are sparking that Bobby Fish has signed with AEW are primarily because of the fact, if you look at the match graphic they have put up, Sammy versus Bobby Fish, on his shirt there is this small AEW
Yeah.
insignia, and that's only for the AEW signed talent and shirts available on AEW shop. I don't feel like he has signed with them. I feel like they have this shirt, and the reason Bobby Fish is here, and here's something you said off the air, Jimmy, which I'm going to quote you on, is because they are planning for a Sammy Guevara versus Adam Cole match. And Bobby Fish could be the right catalyst towards that. Because Bobby Fish has history with Adam Cole, Undisputed Era, boom, Adam Cole, baby, whatever. And you have that aspect, you have Bobby Fish face off against Sammy Guevara, and Adam Cole comes in, or somehow it's very easy to draw a link between us using Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish is a good wrestler, not the biggest star, but will do all right and is an all right star in the ring. And I see him as the perfect tool if we're going to get Adam Cole versus Sammy Guevara in the end.
I'll start off with saying you butchered it completely. It's boom, and then it's Adam Cole, baby. We'll go. We'll move on. I'm not gonna get hung up on that. But you basically took the words out of my mouth. I feel like the Bobby Fish thing is to help set up the Adam Cole thing. I think they're definitely because what we're talking about was how Adam Cole and Miro wouldn't make much sense. You got a heel champion, and you got Adam Cole with the Elite being the heelish douche. So that match really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. You put the belt on Sammy Guevara, and then you have Adam Cole chasing that. I think you have a great program. I think using the Undisputed Era, which is something that AEW is very good at, using history from other promotions to kind of like tell certain stories or throw jabs at people. I think that really helps. That would really help with telling the story. I don't think Bobby Fish is a major get at this point. I think he's in his 40s. He's decent. He's had a lot of injuries over the past few years. But when he's healthy, he can go. He can give you a good match. I expect the Sammy Guevara Bobby Fish match to be fantastic. But like you said, I also expect it to start planting the seeds of an Adam Cole Sammy Guevara program, which nobody should complain about. That's a 5-star match all day, every day. It would suck for Sammy to see him have a short title run if that's the case, but also would suck for Adam Cole to take a loss that soon. I think it'll be interesting to see if that's what they do and how they book it if they do it. But not to move too far away from Bobby Fish, I think he wouldn't be a bad signing for AEW, because unlike the names like Adam Cole, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, possibly Bray Wyatt, he's not a main event name that is going to come in and the fans aren't going to demand him like main event Kenny Omega. They're not going to demand that. He's a good low card, mid card guy that can really put
like
on
2.0.
He can put on some great matches with people. And he should be able to help with the younger talent as well, which is what I think he was very useful for in NXT. So we'll see if he is signed. Again, I don't think that's a bad signing as opposed to some of the other signings they've had, just for the fact that he's not going to command the attention or booking that they would. So I look forward to seeing Bobby in AEW. And then last bit of news that we'll talk about is we have Alexa Bliss supposedly taking off for an injury. This one, I think, came out of left field for me. She was involved in the program with Charlotte. I think it was masterfully done. Enjoyed the program leading up to their match at Extreme Rules, and then I think the match itself exceeded my expectations because it was an entertaining match. But we saw at the end, Charlotte wins. She destroys Lily. Alexa flips out. And then she wasn't on Raw. So she's definitely going to be off TV. No, I don't know how long she'll be gone. But what are your thoughts on her being gone at this point of the year?
Yeah, I first of all, I hope she's okay, and if she's getting surgery, I hope it goes well. But I feel like the her going away could be a vehicle for her to rebrand herself or bring back an older version of herself. Because this gimmick with Lily the doll hasn't been getting a lot of positive reviews from fans online. And so we have that in one hand. On the other hand, Alexa's a former women's champion, right? You can slot her into the title feud whenever you want. So if she's out, then and if she's off for a while, let's say 2 3 months, we can see her return at the Royal Rumble, and I wouldn't mind that at all, because have her win the Royal Rumble even. Because if Alexa is going to bring back a new character, or if she's going to rebrand herself, she doesn't really need to cling on to Lily the doll or Charlie the doll or any sort of doll for that matter. But instead, just be herself, just be the little uh, the heelish character that we saw at WrestleMania 34, or even prior to that. Her as Miss Money in the Bank was amazing, and I would really enjoy to see her as the normal Alexa Bliss prior to her interacting with the Fiend and her being thrown into the title feud around WrestleMania season.
So I'm gonna give another one of my wild theories here. I'm gonna say Alexa Bliss returns as Lily. It's happening.
Who did you ask to get that doll for you?
I purchased this myself. Okay,
so like right now.
They're selling out like hotcakes. You have to jump on them. I got mine. Don't be mad you didn't get yours.
Yeah,
but
the reason this was in the weekly news roundup was just because
I've been waiting to show that thing off for quite some time. Don't cut me off. I'm going to show it off again. I love the Lily doll. It's fantastic. But back to my theory. I think what you're having here with Alexa being gone for an extended period of time, these are the times you usually see character changes. That's the best time to do it. Repackage them. Alexa nails everything out of the park whenever she does something. She's been fantastic in every role she's been given. She's the definition of a professional, in my opinion, because when she's champion, she was jobbing out, which was insane to me. But at no point was she never a believable champion, because her promo work is fantastic. Her in-ring work has never been the best, but she has definitely improved leaps and bounds over the years. And I know a lot of people on the internet don't like this gimmick, but when you watch the shows, they love it. The kids, they love it. And all you have to do is look at the Lily doll sales to know that they have something there. So how do you keep it fresh? How do you continue to bank off of it? She's gone. Lily is gone as well. She's been ripped up. Well, Alexa Bliss could come back as Lily. I think that's there. I know it sounds a little far-fetched and it sounds a little crazy, but the Lily doll itself is far-fetched and crazy. And it has worked for an audience outside of the internet, because that's a very small audience. It's not that big of a deal. They can bitch all they want when the fans are chanting for Charlie during a promo between Alexa and Charlotte. The dolls are clearly over. Vince likes to get crazy with things, and I think to really keep this character going, it wouldn't be far-fetched to see Alexa be taken over as Lily. She's been ripped open, stuffing's out, the soul has been released. Where did it go? It went into Alexa Bliss. Here she comes. She's more evil and sinister than ever. It sounds silly, absolutely 100%. I know this. You don't have to message me on Twitter. I know how stupid I sound right now when I'm saying this. But at the same sense, Alexa Bliss takes these roles and just kills it every time. I dare someone to give me a time where Alexa Bliss was given anything and it sucked. You can't. And I think this would allow her to show off more of those acting chops that she's done since taking over this gimmick that she was essentially handed over from Bray. Would you be mad at a Alexa Bliss / Lily crossover as a new character for her?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like.
Never mind that question. Do you think it's a possibility, and do you think it could get over like her previous gimmick?
Get over? No, a possibility definitely. Because Alexa Bliss, get over? Maybe. Because Alexa Bliss, as you said, just takes anything, makes chicken salad out of chicken shit. She can knock it out of the park whenever she wants because she's an amazing performer and amazing wrestler above all. Getting it over is another thing because these are dolls. Oh, thanks. That's really helpful. It's like the doll is asking for pity at the moment. But yeah, I feel like you have Lily at the moment. You can make Charlie. You can make as much money off of it. You can put the title on Lily if you want. But when Alexa's back, I just hope that she's away from paranormal stuff. She's away from the gimmick she inherited from the Fiend. She's away from these dolls. You can give it to someone else. Give it to Shayna Baszler. No, please, no. Actually, don't give it to Shayna Baszler.
Do not give it to
She's a
Shayna
wonderful
Baszler. That is the worst idea you've ever
someone
had.
else. Give it.
Shayna literally
give
just
it-
got her
yeah.
gimmick back, and you're wanting to do
Yeah,
something like
don't
that.
worry about that was just like a slip of tongue, a brain fart, right? Give it to Nia Jax. All right, let
Eva
someone
Marie.
else pull off the paranormal character. Eva Marie, yeah, sure. Let someone else do it. We want the old Alexa back. I want the old Alexa back. Jimmy wants Lily and Alexa back together.
I want Alexa to just flourish because she's one of the best talents they have in the female division.
Yeah, so do I.
She's one of the more complete packages they have. And the goal is to make money, and this thing is making her money. So why not let us see what she's able to do with it? I think it'd be, at the very least, would be funny to see. But if it fell flat on its face, then there's a problem because then she has to bounce back, and I don't know if she'd be able to do that quickly enough. But I think that's all for our. Oh wait, we have one more thing. WWE has supposedly.
Wait,
What's that?
Yeah, what did Eddie Kingston say this week?
Eddie Kingston said Zayn needs to stop talking about me. It's creepy. And then he also sent me a message stating that WWE has taken out some trademark names for SmackDown Breakdown and Raw Rebound. Do you have any thoughts or ideas on what these could be?
Nope. Like I have a bit kind of. I have sort of a hunch. The new names for Raw Talk and Talking Smack, maybe. Or do you remember Bottom Line? This show when I was like 6-7 years old. You might be 60 at the time, but they used to have
62.
this show that yeah, no wonder why. They have this show that aired on Sundays, which there was this guy. This was Josh Matthews or someone else who would just talk about what happened on Raw this week or what happened on SmackDown this week. I think it was called Bottom Line and Sideburn. I don't know. It wasn't called Sideburn. It was called something else. But one of them was Bottom Line, and it was just Afterburn. Thank you, Alex. Yes, Afterburn and Bottom Line, not Sideburn. And they just used to talk about what happened on Raw or SmackDown that week. I think it could be something like that, where it's just review of, oh, this happened on Raw this week. Let's check it out. Oh, this happened on SmackDown. Let's check this out.
Yeah, I think that's what we're getting. It's just a rebranding of Raw Talk and Talking Smack. Maybe even just a show exclusive for the Peacock. I hope it's not another wrestling show. Those shows, so I don't know exactly how they work. But I know what Kayla Braxton. I know she's on Talking Smack. She's not on Raw Talk, correct?
Yeah, no, Talking Smack.
Okay,
She's on the bump as well.
Okay, I could see it just being shows, just to, I guess, just to rebrand them. They like rebranding things right now. Obviously, take a look at NXT. Just to give fans like, oh, what's that? And they'll tune in to see it for a little bit and then realize, oh, this is the same thing we were watching before. I'll turn it off. I don't see it being anything big, and I hope it's not anything big. But I think that's it as far as the news for this week. Unless I missed anything. I know I'm old. I forget a lot. So did I forget anything, Zane?
I don't think so. I think you did wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So we're going to wrap it up. You can let people know where to find you, Zane.
You can find me
besides in your room watching Eddie Kingston matches.
What about in your room watching Eddie Kingston match?
That would never happen. Never happen.
Why can't we watch Eddie Kingston matches together, man?
Because I have better things to do than watch Eddie Kingston matches. Like play with my Lily doll.
Yeah, that's what WrestleBuddy's whole crew does. Play with Lily dolls, watch Eddie Kingston matches all day. Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at ZanePW. You can find me doing stuff for Sportskeeda. Jimmy's going to tell you all the wonderful things WrestleBuddy has going on for them right now. So go ahead.
I am, because we have some great interviews on the YouTube channel. We have some more of these weekly news and weekly wrap-up shows on YouTube. You should definitely be checking them out. We have some great interviews coming up that you're going to want to not miss. Our articles on WrestleBuddy.com, worth your time. You definitely want to read those. And if the lists, for whatever reason, you don't want to read, we're starting to do voiceovers. You can find those on YouTube. That'll be fun for you. Also, you can check us out on Spotify. We're new on there, so where you can catch out some of our interviews. I think I've covered everything. And you can find me on Twitter, Jimmy Bebe. I just talk wrestling. I like to screw around and joke around a lot. And as far as Zane goes, if you haven't followed him, you need to follow him, because he really wants validation, and those numbers are needed for him to feel that way. So if you haven't followed him, go follow him. Follow me if you'd like. And I think that's it for this week. So this is where we wave goodbye, and we will see you next week, everybody. Bye. Boom.